So good morning, students. Last class, we have demonstrated simple 32-bit addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this class, we are going to see about how to handle 32-bit operation using LDR instructions. So LDR means load data register, okay? For that, you have to know about some of the assembler directives to access the data space of your ARM processor. So next, I am going to cover some of the assembler directives which are used in ARM Cortex M4 programming. So after that, we are going to see about signed, that is how to handle signed and unsigned numbers in arithmetic operation, that is 32-bit arithmetic operation. Finally, we will see about shift and rotate operations. Okay. So in this program, you can see your program is divided into two sections. One is data section, other one is the code section. Okay, so in code section, this area is the one of the assembler directives. Actually, this assembler directive instruct the assembler to assemble new code section or data section. Okay, so based on this syntax, either it will assign, that is, it will assemble new code section or data section. Okay, so next is the main. So this main is the, your program name. So you can give any name, and next word is the code. So this indicates that this particular code contains mission instruction, that is your assembly instruction. And read-only mode is the default mode for code section. Okay. And next, coming into the area section, that is area, and my data is the name of your data area, and this code word is the data. So this one indicates the particular section contains data, not instruction. So the default mode for this area is read and write. Okay, so in this data section, you can see two instructions given here. X1 equal 32-bit number, X2 equal 32-bit number. Okay, so this equal is the one of the assembler directive used in ARM Cortex M programming. So the purpose of this directive is to give a symbol name to numeric constant, which means your x1 is assigned to, that is this 32-bit number is assigned to x. That is your x1 is equal to 32-bit numeric constant. And x2 is equal to 32-bit numeric constant. So in this way, we can define our data in the data section. Okay. Coming into the main, using LDR, we can move that value from data section to the main. So LDR R0 comma is equal to x1. So this instruction is used to load the value of x1 into R0. Now your R0 holds the 32-bit value. And next instruction is used to load the value of x2 into R1. Okay. So now R2 holds the second number. Okay. So after that, the instruction given here is add S R2 comma R0 comma R1. So add S means addition with flag update. Add with flag update. Which means after addition operation, the result will be affected in your APSR register. So the operation of this particular instruction, it will add the content of R0 and content of R1, and result will be folded by R2 register. Okay. So this is the logic of this program. So to access the data from data section, we have to use LDR instruction. Okay. And these are the some of the assembler directories which will be used in the data section. One is the DCB, defined constant byte. Next one is the half word, defined constant word. And next, that is half word. This is half word. DCD means defined constant data. And DCQ is for double word. Okay. So in this table, you can see some of the assembler directives are highlighted. So these are the assembler directives which are we are going to use in our lab. So first one is the area. So this is used to make new block of data or code. An entry, declare an entry point where the program execution starts. And DCB is defined constant byte. It is used to allocate one or more bytes of, that is 8-bit data, 8 bits of data. Next one is the 16 bits of data. DCD is it is used to allocate one or more words, that is 32 bits of data. And equal is used to assign a symbol name to a numeric constant. Okay. Export is used to declare a symbol and make it referable by other source files. End is the termination of program. Okay. Please note it down. So in our lab, we are going to use these assembler directives to access your 32-bit variables. Okay. That is DCB, DCW, DCD, and equal. So I'm going to demonstrate this program. So the aim of the program is to get the input data from data section using LDR instruction. Okay. So now I'm going to connect Nucleo board to my PC. So board is connected to PC. Now I'm going to execute this program. So the program is executed without any errors. Next, I am going to download this program into my hardware. For that, you have to click this option, that is download option. That is download the code to flash memory. Okay. So here you can see the programming is done. That is, your code is successfully downloaded into the hardware board. Okay. That is targeted hardware. So what is the first instruction? Students, please tell me. So what is the first instruction? So what is the purpose of first instruction? LDR R0, comma is equal to X1. So what is the purpose of LDR here? Students, are you able to follow? Can you understand my question? What is the purpose of LDR instruction? Roll number 103. What is the purpose of LDR instruction?
Ma'am, we are loading the value to R0 to the register.
Loading the value from
X1 to R0.
What is X1 here? What is X1 here?
X1 we are giving the input.
We are giving the input, okay? So in this data section, we have to assign decimal numbers, not hexadecimal number. And this is the largest 32-bit number value, that is 8FFF, okay? So I'm going to run the code now. So first your R0 is loaded with your first input, and next R1 is loaded with the second input, and I'm clearing carry now. So let's see what happens when we add two 32-bit number, okay? So here your R3, that is your answer is stored in R2, and carry also updated in XPSR register, that is program status register, okay? In this way, we can access the 32-bit data from the data section using LDR instruction. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear, students? Yes or no? Are you able to follow? Any clarification in LDR instruction? So next we will explore 32-bit addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in more detail, okay? Just you observe the program, just analyze the program. So I have used 3 add instruction, there is 4 add instruction, 1 subtract instruction and 1 reverse subtract instruction, okay? So this first instruction has 3 operand and second instruction has immediate operand and third add instruction has 2 operands. And this instruction is used to add two 32-bit number and subtraction with 3 operands, and this is the reverse subtraction, okay? So initially your R0 is loaded with this 0x02, okay? So what is the purpose of this instruction? Add R1, R0, R0. So can you understand my question? So initially your R0 is loaded with 02, okay? So after execution, your R1 holds. So what is the answer? What is the content of R1 register after execution of add instruction?
See, please unmute and tell or put it in the chat box, ma. Please be interactive.
R1 is equal to R0 plus R0 and 02 plus 02, 04, okay? So this instruction is used to add the value in R0 to itself and place the result in R1, okay? So after addition, your R1 holds 04, that is 2 is added with 2, so your answer is 4. So after addition operation, your R1 holds 04. So what is the next instruction? Add R2, R0, hash 2. So we can also use add instruction with an immediate operand. So we can use immediate operand in the place of your third operand. So what is the operation of this instruction? Add R2, R0, hash 2. So what is the answer? Again your R0 holds 02 and we are adding the content of R0 with immediate value. So what will be the answer? So what is the content of R2? So the content of R2 is again 04, okay? So R2 plus immediate data, 2 plus 2. So after the addition, after the execution of this instruction, your R2 holds 04, okay? And next we can use 2 operands in addition instruction. Add R2, R0. So this instruction is used to add R0 with R2. So after the addition, result will be holded by R2. So your R0 content is 2 and R2 content is 4 here. R2 is 4. Already after the addition, your R2 holds 4. So 2 plus 4, your answer will be 6. So after the addition, your R2 holds 6. Okay. So your R2 is updated with this value 0, 6. Okay. So R1 is updated with 0, 4 and R2 is updated with 0, 6. So next, I am going to load this number, that is 4 with 7 0 to R3 and 7 with 7 zeros to R4. The instruction given here is add R5, R3, R4. Okay. So the operation here is the content of R3 is added with R4. After the addition, result will be placed in R5. Okay. So this instruction will perform 32-bit addition. So look at this table where R3 holds 4 with 7 0 and this is the decimal equivalent of this hexadecimal number. So which is the largest 32-bit number, and R4 holds 7 with 7 zeros and this is the decimal equivalent for this particular number. After the addition, B with 7 0 is transferred to R5, stored in R5. So this is the answer. So R5 is updated with B with 7 zeros. Okay. And next one is the subtraction. So subtraction with 3 operands R6, R4, R3. Here your R3 is subtracted from R4. So R4 is loaded with 7 with 7 zeros and R3 is loaded with 4 with 7 zeros. After the subtraction, we will be getting this answer. So this is the decimal equivalent of this particular value, 3 with 7 0. So when we use subtract S, your flag will be updated in the APSR register. Okay. So next instruction is the reverse subtraction. So what is the operation of reverse subtraction? Please tell me. So what is the functionality of reverse subtraction? So the given instruction is RSB R7, R1, #0. So what operation to be carried out here? Students, please interact. So already you have completed 32-bit addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And also I have explained this reverse subtraction in the previous class. Dana Lakshmi.
Ma'am?
The questions came, அவங்க யாரும் ஆன்சர் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. பிரதீபா
மேம் chat boxல ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க மேம்.
பண்றாங்களா? இல்ல வரல எனக்கு. பண்றாங்களா? சரி. இப்பதான் வருது. R7 is equal to 0 minus R1. So here the operation is 0 minus R1. So to carry out the subtraction operation, we have to take 2's complement of R1. So the content of R1 is 0, 4. Okay. So for that, we need to find out the 2's complement. So 2's complement value for 4 is 6FB and add 1 with, so this is the 1's complement. Okay. This is the 1's complement and add 1 with the 1's complement. Your answer is FFFFC, that is 7F with C, and add this value with your 0. 0 plus 2's complement answer. After that, your R7 holds this value. So that's all about your addition and subtraction along with reverse subtraction. Pradeepa?
Yes, ma'am. I'll show the demo.
One second.
presentation mode. Okay. Is the screen visible?
No, Pradipta.
Now,
Now it is visible.
okay. See here, what we are going to do, we are going to create the coding that mom has taught you about the addition using your register and register with immediate value, register with register, and the subtraction and the reverse subtraction. We will simulate the same coding in the software and see. So here we have created the project. Maybe I will show you by creating the project again. So what you have to do, go with project, new microvision project. So select the directory, embedded lab. So we'll go with V2. So in that folder, we are going to save all the projects. Okay. What should we do now? We have to select the controller. So MSTM to F4. So it is 446 RE. Okay. So this we have to select. Then in Synopsys, you have to create it as a core, and again under your device you have to select the startup. Okay, so don't forget about these steps. So you okay. So you can see that the project week 2 is created and the source group is added. Okay. So next thing what you have to do is you have to select the target options here. So what we should verify? We should verify whether our device is selected, and also the debug mode, we are using it as a simulator. Okay, so make sure these two you have done it. So the device is selected and the debug is use simulator. Thank you. Okay. So the next is you have to create a new file. You have to type the coding. Okay, so just I copied it. So here your area main port read only, and export your main. Then you start with the entry point. Start your main coding. So first what we are doing, we are moving this. So after typing all your codings, you can end with the keyword end. Then you save the file with the extension. So since it is adds up, I'll take it as example 1 adds up .s. Okay, so you cannot have other special characters. So use underscore and save the file with the .s since it is an assembly coding. Okay, so you can see that the color has been changed. And what should we do next? We have to add this file, this coding into the project. So what you have to do, right click and you add existing files to the source group one. So what happens? It will go to the directory where the folder is being created. So under the same directory, you have to add the assembly file. So the file name is example1 adds up. So I will add it. So then after adding, close this. So you can see that the assembly code file what we have created and saved is now added under your project. Okay. So we will see the execution of the code one by one. So I will have a breakpoint here. So you have insert or remove breakpoint, or the shortcut key is F9. So you can insert the breakpoint. Every instruction I'm having a breakpoint in order to analyze what happens after every step. Okay. So if you want to analyze after several steps, you can have that way also. I'm inserting the breakpoint, then I'm compiling. There are no errors, no warnings. So once this is over, we will move on to the start or stop the debug session. So we have configured this debugger as a simulator. So it will enter into the simulator mode. So what you can see is our first instruction here is move R0 comma hash 02, which means the immediate value 02 is moved into the R0 register. So once I start with this run, the default values are loaded here. So the cursor is now pointing to the first instruction. It is not executed, it is referring to that first instruction. So once I start with the run, the first instruction is executed and it has moved the pointer to the next. So what instruction has executed? So R0 is now loaded with the immediate value hex 0. So you can see that the value R0 is now updated with 0, 2. So the next statement, if I am running, what we have done here is doing the addition R0, R1 comma R0 comma R0, which means R0 value is added with R0 and then where it is uploaded only in R1. R0 value is not updated, only the result is stored in R1. So R0 plus R0 is now loaded into R1, which is 2 plus 2, which is 4. So now R1 is updated with 4 and R0 still maintains the same previous value, which is 2. Okay. Next, what we are doing, we are executing the next instruction, which is add R2 comma R0 comma hash 2. So R0 value is now what? It is 2. And with that, what we are adding? We are adding the immediate value. So these two are added and it is updated in which register? R2 register. So now R2 is again updated with 4 because R0 is 2. With 2, you are adding the immediate value and 4 is the result. Okay. So R2 is updated. So what is your next instruction? It is add R2 comma R0. So what will happen? The register, what will be the result? So R2 is added with R0 and it is again updated in R2. So what was R2 earlier? It was 4. So with 4, R0 value, which is 2, is added and again it is updated in the same register R2 itself. So here you can see that value earlier, which was 4, is now replaced with 6. But still R0 maintains the same value. We are not troubling the R0 register. Okay. Is it clear, all of you? So the next one, what we are doing is we are moving R3 register with the value 32-bit constant, which is 4 and all zeros hex value. Okay. So now R3 is loaded with hex 4 and all zeros. Okay. So next instruction is move R4 comma hash hex 7 and all zeros, which means R4 register is now loaded with the hex value, the immediate value. You can change the values also and see. So for understanding, we've taken the same example. Okay. So the next instruction is you have to add R3 and R4. That is R3 plus R4 is added and it is moved into R5. Okay. So what will be the result? 7 plus 4, which is hexadecimal. Okay. So 8, 9, A and B. So the expected result is hex B00000. So let us see whether we are getting it. So the result is added and R5 is loaded with hex B0000. Okay. So the next instruction is the subtract instruction. So R4 is subtracted by, R4 minus R3 is calculated and it is loaded in R6. So what is R4? It is 7 hex value 70000 and R3 is hex 40000. So when we subtract 7 minus 4, it will be 3. So it is hex 3000. Okay. All binary bits will be taken and subtraction will be performed. Okay. Next is reverse subtraction 0 minus R1. So R1 it is 2. So we have to take the 2's complement of it. And the value, as ma'am told, it is the 2's complement of 0 is FB, that is the 1's complement plus 1. Okay, so it will be FFFFFC. Okay, so with that, what we are doing, we are adding your value of R1. So it will be, the result is FFFF and C. So you can see that FFF and C is obtained. Okay. So the instruction of all the statements are executed, and finally the R0 to R7 registers will have these register values. Okay. Any doubts you have? Any doubts? Clear? Okay.
Also know how to do the manual calculation for all these. See, you should also know how to do manual calculation for all these. So you have to know how to subtract a number from 0. So you should submit it with the manual calculation.
So just calculate the 2's complement of -1 now. I'll let you calculate and put it in the chat box. 2's complement of -1. So first what you have to do, write the 32-bit binary number for 1. Then take 1's complement of that and add 1 with that. Try to find the result and put it now. All F.
All of.
So similarly, you can try different values and you can check it. Okay? Correct me.
Everybody should work out. Okay, only we are getting 2 or 3 answers. Every one of you should work out and you have to write your answers in the chat box.
That too, from the same roll number, we are getting the answer. Please, everybody, try it out, because all these kinds of questions will be asked for Viva. Viva contains 10 marks for each experiment. Okay, so these type of questions will be asked for Viva. So please concentrate, try to work it out then and there.
So next I am going to explain the operation of move top instruction. Okay. So here, so what is the first instruction? Move W R6 comma hash 0x1234. It is a 16-bit hex value. Okay. So the purpose of this instruction is used to move the 16-bit hexadecimal value to the lower half word of R6 register. So the purpose of move top instruction is to combine the lower half word of register with higher half word of the register. Okay, so first this instruction is used to load the lower half word into R6 register. Okay, and next this one move top is used to move the 60-bit value, that is 8765, into R6 register, that is into to the upper half word of R6 register, okay? And here I am moving 12 into R5. After that, I am using this move not instruction. So what is the purpose of move not instruction? So what is the purpose of move not? So already you have worked out logical operation, okay? So move not is for finding one's complement of given number, okay? So let's demonstrate this code. So the first instruction, move word R6 comma hash 0x1234. Okay. So here, so your R6 is loaded with 1, 2, 3, 4. So this instruction is used to move 16-bit hex value to the lower half word of R6. Okay, is that clear? This 1, 2, 3, 4 is transferred to the lower half word of R6. And next instruction, move top instruction. So here you can see this, that is 8765 is loaded into the upper half word of R6. So this instruction is used to combine two 16-bit bytes, that is two 16-bit words into a single register. Now your R6 holds 8765 1 2 3 4. Okay, that is 8765 is the upper half word, 1 2 3 4 is the lower half word. Okay, and next your R5 is loaded with 12, and after that I am going to execute this move not instruction. So this instruction is used to calculate the ones complement of your R5 register. After that, the ones complement value is transferred to R7. So here the answer is 6FED. Okay, that is the answer, that is ones complement answer for 0x12. Okay, is that clear? You understand the operation of move top and move not? So move top is for combining, that is combining your upper half word and lower half word. Okay. Finally, the register holds 32-bit value. Move not is used to calculate the ones complement of the register content. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next one is the multiplication. So already we have some values in the register are shown here. That is your R0 is loaded with 02 and R1 is loaded with 04 and R3 is loaded with some signed number and R4 is loaded with 77 and R6 is loaded with 32-bit value and R7 is loaded with 16-bit value. Okay. So according to your 80, your ARM Cortex M4 only have multiplicand, that is only as multiply instruction. We don't have signed multiply instruction. Okay. So first instruction is used to load the 02 to R0. Next, R1 is loaded with 04. So what is the operation of this instruction? Multiply R2, R0, R1. So your multiplication operator does not support signed multiplication. That is, we don't have separate signed multiplication instructions. Okay. So what is the operation of this instruction? MUL R2, R0, R1. R2 is equal to R0 into R1. So this instruction is used to multiply the values in R0 and R1 and put the result in R2. Okay. So 2 into 4, the answer will be 8. So your R2 is updated with this answer. So after execution of this instruction, your R2 holds 0, 8. Okay. So let's see what happens when we have signed numbers. Let's assume this number is the signed number. Okay. So convert this number into signed value, that is unsigned to signed. So this value is a 32-bit value. Convert this. So the equivalent value, that is signed value for this one is minus 240. That is equivalent decimal value for this hexadecimal value is minus 240. Okay. So R3 is loaded with this signed value and R4 is loaded with 77. Here I am multiplying R4 content by R3. After the multiplication, result will be folded by R5. So look at this table. So this signed value is multiplied with unsigned value. So after the multiplication, we will be getting this answer. Okay. So here the important point is, if we interpret the result as signed 2's complement value, then the result is the correct one. Okay. So processor does not know whether we are multiplying signed values or unsigned value. Only programmer know how to interpret the results of an operation, because your multiplication instruction does not have separate signed multiplication operator. So your processor does not know whether we are multiplying signed or unsigned value. Only we have to interpret the results. Okay. So after the multiplication, your R5 holds the signed value. According to our consideration, R5 holds the signed value. Okay. So next instruction, move R6, 32-bit value, and multiplier is loaded into R7. So MUL R8, R6, R7. Okay. So after execution, your R8 holds this answer. That is, so this value is multiplied with this one. So after the execution, we will be getting this value. Okay. So basic multiplication instruction discards this upper 32-bit value of the product. That is upper 32-bit of the product. Only gives us the lower 32-bit of the result. To extract the upper 32-bit, we have to use this unsigned long multiplication instruction. Okay. So your R6 value is 57B6, R7 value. R6 is 7F. Okay. So R6 is multiplied, this multiplicand is 57B6. So this instruction used to multiply the content of R7 with R6. After the multiplication, we will be getting this answer. Okay. And your upper 32-bit is discarded according to this instruction. We can extract that value. So after execution, your R8 holds upper 32-bit and R9 holds lower 32-bit. But basic multiplication instruction discards the upper 32-bit bit of the product, and using this unsigned long multiplication, we can extract the upper 32-bit value. So we can store 64-bit result by using this instruction. Any doubts?
Ma'am, you said that it does not do signed multiplication, ma'am, but it's
It can perform according to our consideration. So user have to interpret the results, okay? But does not have separate signed multiplication instruction. So in case of division, we have unsigned div and signed div. But multiplication case, we have only signed, that is unsigned multiplication instruction alone.
okay, ma'am, but it will convert and perform, ma'am.
Yeah, user has to interpret the result. For example, if you assume this number is a signed number, okay, and you have to interpret the result based on your input. That's all. Here I have assumed this number is a signed number, that is minus 240. So after multiplication, we have to get this result, that is 28560. We have to verify the results based on our input. We don't have separate signed multiply instruction in ARM Cortex N4.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
But we can give signed numbers. Any other doubts? Pradeepa?
Yes, I'm going to show the link.
Ma'am,
Conversion link வேணா கொடுத்துறலாம்.
conversion link chat box ல போட்டுருங்க.
போட்டுருங்க.
So now let us see the demonstration of the coding. Is the screen visible?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now I can
Yes,
see.
ma'am. Now this.
Okay. So now, we have already created the project week 2. So earlier we had the first example. So now I have removed that project file from the project, and now I created a new file with the coding. Okay. So now I will save this file as example 2 multiplication.s, the extension. Now I will add this file to the existing project. Okay, so we have to select which file we want to add. So we will select the multiplication. So this multiplication code is now added. So now we will simulate this and see what happens. So we will compile it. We will keep the breakpoint. So multiplication of n-bit number with n-bit number will result in how many bits of digits? Can you please put it in the chat box? N-bit into n-bit. So here we have taken 32-bit into 32-bit. Okay, so for the last case, so we will have 64 bits. So it will be obviously 2 n bits as the result. So let us put the debug node. So now the code is ready for run. So first instruction is move R0, 0, 2. Okay, so when we run, so your R0 register is updated with the value 2. Next, R1 has to be moved with the value 4. So I'm running. So now R0 and R1 are moved with the hex value 2 and 4. So the next instruction is R2, R0, R1, which means what? We are multiplying R0 and R1, and that result is stored in R2. So hexadecimal, we are having hexadecimal 2 into 4. So the result is 8. So we run, the register value R2 is now loaded with hexadecimal value 8. So this instruction is over. Next, what we are doing, we are trying to multiply some bigger digits. Okay. So here your R3 is now loaded with FFF10. Okay. So if you look into the value, decimal value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the hexadecimal value, if you look into the equivalent decimal number, so this is the decimal number we have taken in the R3 register. It's a quite long, bigger number. So the equivalent hexadecimal value we are multiplying with the another number. So what is the next number? So we are moving your R4 register with hex 77. Okay. So hex 77 we are moving, and these two R3 register value and R4 register value you are multiplying, and that is loaded into your R5 register. So if you look into this, so this value you are multiplying with hexadecimal 77. So if you see, you will have your hexadecimal value as FFFF9070, or your decimal value will be this. Okay. So if you consider, each register can have only 32 bit of information. So if you are loading this value into an R5 register, it can store only the LSB 32 bit information. So if you run this, what you can see is, you can see that FFF9070 is only loaded into your R5 register because it can have only 32 bit of information. The other MSB bit is not stored. So what we have to do is, we have to tell the with some instruction whether we want to load the MSB bit or not. Okay. So for that we will take another example. So here long multiplication. So ma'am said no. So you have long unsigned multiplication where you are here, we will check the result. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all 32 bits are set as high, and your R7 bit is 57B5. So if we multiply, we will be getting the result as a 32 bit plus additional a 16 bit. Okay, so this has to be stored in two different registers. So let us see what happens. So if you see here, if you are using only multiplication instruction, what happens? Only FFFF A8 4B is loaded in R9 register, and R8 register is loaded with your 57B4, which means that your LSB32 is loaded with your R9 and R8 is loaded with your MSB bit. Okay. So this you can observe from the simulated example. So you can see that your R7 is loaded with 57B5, R6 is loaded with FFFF. So these two you are multiplying, and if you look into the R8 register, it is 57B4, and R9 is the lower 32-bit data. So now we are able to see all the result in two different registers. Okay, is that clear? Any doubt you have? Ma'am, am I not audible?
Ma'am, for few seconds you were not, but now it's okay, ma'am.
Should I tell
No.
again, ma'am?
No, ma'am, not needed.
No.
Calculator la da potutten.
Oh, okay. Any doubts you have? Okay.
So next one is the division operator. So here you can see that is R0 is loaded with 2 and R1 is loaded with 3 and R2 was the
Ma'am, presentation
loaded.
mode.
Ma'am, screen is not visible.
One second. So next one is the division operator. Here you can see that is R0 is loaded with 2 and R1 is loaded with 3 and R2 is loaded with 4. Again your R6 and R7 registers are loaded with some value. Okay. So first instruction is unsigned div R3, R2, R0. Okay. That is your divisor value is 2 and dividend value is 4. Okay. Your R0 is the divisor and R2 is the dividend. Okay. So this instruction used to divide the R2 register content by R0 register content. Okay. That is 4 divided by 2. Your answer will be 2. Okay. 4 divided by 2. After a division, your R3 holds 2. Okay. So, however, actually we need to remember that these operations are integer divisions, okay, which means any remainder from the division is simply discarded, okay. We can store only quotient value. So, next case, I am going to divide 4 divided by 3, okay, 4 divided by 3. Let's see what happens when we divide 4 by 3, okay. That is your R1 is loaded with 0, 3 and R2 holds 4. So the operation is R2 divided by R1. It is R2 divided by R1, which means 4 divided by 3. Okay. So we get quotient of 1 and with the remainder of 1. Okay. After division, the remainder will be 1. Okay, so with the integer division, that is this addition is the integer division. So this will simply discards the remainder value. We can store only quotient. Okay. Next, consider worst case example, that is 3 divided by 4. Okay, that is R1 holds 0, 3, R2 holds 4. 3 by 4. So what is the answer? When we divide 3 by 4, so what will be the content of R5? Please tell me. The content of R3 is 0. So the result is 3 by 4, that is equal to 0.75. We get fractional value. So since the fractional part of the result is discarded by your division, so we are left with the value of 0. Okay. Is that clear? So first 4 divided by 2, we will be getting 2. 4 divided by 3, your R4 holds 1, your remainder will be discarded. Here 3 by 4, that is 3 by 4 is equal to 0.75. So it's a fractional value. So the fractional part is discarded by your udiv instruction. Only we have, that is we left with 0 values. So after execution, your R5 holds 0. Okay. So next, let's see about signed and unsigned division operation. Okay. So here unsigned div R8, R6, R7. So we consider this R6 to be a very large positive value. So this value, very large positive value. That is decimal equivalent for this value. 4294967040. Okay. And divisor is 5. After the division, the value is 433330. So this is the decimal equivalent. So this is for unsigned division operation. So next instruction, signed division operation R9, R6, R7. Okay. So if we consider the value in R6 to be signed 2's complement value. This R6 is considered to be signed value. This is going to be considered your 2's complement value. That is signed one. Okay. So this value is the small negative value. When we consider this is the signed one, the equivalent decimal value for this one is minus 256. So divide this minus 256 by 5, you will be getting this 5. Sorry, you will be getting this answer. That is 6FCD. Okay, that is which is equivalent to minus 51D. Okay. So it's performs signed division, gives us a negative result. So that is numerically much different from this unsigned result. In case of signed, this is going to be a large number, that is to be a very large positive value. Here, in case of unsigned, that is to be assigned 2's complement value. So this value is the very smaller one, smaller negative value. So minus 256 divided by 5, we will be getting minus 5D. So after execution, your R9 is loaded with this value, that is updated with this value. Is that clear? So your division, that is division instruction, supports both signed and unsigned division operation. So your remainder will be discarded.
So now I will show you the demonstration of your division operators.
How will you differentiate positive and negative value? Suppose your D31st bit is 1 means that number is the negative number. So we have to check the bit 31. So bit 31 holds signed magnitude. Suppose your 31st bit is 0, that number is a positive number.
Shall I start, ma'am? Ma'am? See, is the screen visible?
Yes, Pradeepa.
Okay, ma'am. So now what we'll do is we will remove this project, multiplication project from the project week 2 and we will create a new file. Okay. So now I'll type the coding. So I've just copied here. So now I'll save as the week 2 example 2 div.s. Okay. So we are going to do the division operator. So let us save this. So now this file has to be loaded into the project. So add existing to the file to the project. Okay. So here you have example 2 division. So now this project is now added. So we will insert breakpoint. You see how the unsigned division and signed divisions are taking place. Okay, so we'll put it in the debug mode. divide, I think this is multiplication. I think the code is loaded wrongly. I've not compiled it. So what happened? The previously we simulated the multiplication code. No, that was only simulated. As I included it, the project, but it was not compiled and it was not informed that this code is to be loaded. So that is why the multiplication coding was executed. So sometimes this kind of errors will also be occurring. Okay. So what we are doing, we are now loading R0 with 2, R2 with 4. So R1, it is not uploaded with any value. So the default value is maintained. So R3, what we have done here is R3 is loaded with R2 divided by R0. So R2 contains 4 and R0 contains 2. So what happens? 4 divided by 2. The quotient 2 is now loaded in the R3 register. Okay. So next what happens? We are moving R1 with 3. The register R1 is now loaded with the value 3. The next instruction is unsigned division R4, R2, R1, which means R2 is divided by R1. That quotient is to be loaded into R4. So what is the value in R2 now? It is 4 and R1 has 3, which means 4 divided by 3, the quotient will be 1. So that is to be loaded in the register R4. So this, when we run it, so it executes that instruction and value 1 is loaded in the R4 register. So next what we are doing the reverse way, 3 by 4, which is unsigned div R5, R1, R2, which means R1 by R2 we are doing and it is loaded in the R5 register. Okay. So it is 3 by 4, the quotient will be 0. So when we do this, so R5 is loaded only with 0. Okay. So next what we are doing is we are moving R6 with a higher value. Okay. So it is FFF. So your MSB 31st bit, if it is 1, it is a negative number. If it is 0, it is a positive number. So here your MSB 4 bits are 1111, which means it is a negative number. So we can take it as a unsigned division. If you take, that will be considered as a numerical value. If it is a signed division, then that will be taken as a negative number. Okay. So if you perform the division, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So FF00. So what we are doing, R6 is loaded with this value and R7 is loaded by 5. So we are dividing this by 5. What happens? Your quotient is 33333300 and the hexadecimal. So if it is an unsigned number, this number is taken as the MSB bit is taken for the digit counting. Okay. So when we run this, it will be your R6 is loaded with FFFF00 and R7 is loaded with 5 and R8 is now loaded with the quotient 33333300. Okay, in case of your unsigned number. If it is a signed number, it is considered as a minus 256. Okay, so 256 by 5, if you perform, it will be 51, and since it is a negative number, the minus 51 will be loaded, and equivalent 2's complement number will be loaded in the quotient, that is R9 register. So when your signed division is taking place, the 2's complement of minus 51 will be loaded in the R9 register. Find the 2's complement of minus 51 and see whether it is the bits are correct. Try to find the 2's complement of minus 51 and verify whether the result is correct or wrong. Okay.
So next I am going to explain about shift and rotate operations. So we have three shift instruction, that is logical shift left, logical shift right, and arithmetic shift right. So we have three shift instruction and two rotate instruction, ROR and RRX. Okay. So your ARM arithmetic logic unit has 32-bit parallel shifter. So this will perform logical shift left, logical shift right, arithmetic shift right. Okay. So it has a 32-bit parallel shifter that is capable of shift and rotate operation. And this can be used by various classes of ARM instructions to perform comparatively complex operations in a single instruction. So using this hardware component, it will combine several simple instruction and perform a single operation. Okay. So here the data part of ARM is organized in such a way that the operands, that is your Rn and Rm, okay, are not directly fetched from memory because all the values are stored in your register file. Okay. Stored in register file, that is in general purpose registers. Okay. So one of the operand is directly given to arithmetic logic and other operand is pre-processed by parallel shifter. Okay. So here it involves three registers, that is two source registers, Rn and Rm. Okay. So you can see that there is a parallel shifter on the data path which can pre-process data before it enters into ALU. So before it enters into ALU, this Rm is pre-processed by the parallel shifter. It will perform either logical shift left, logical shift right, or arithmetic shifter right based on the instruction. Okay. And this shifter, that is this shifter hardware module, is basically, it's a combinational circuit which can shift the data bits to the left or to the right by arbitrary number of positions. Okay. So that position also can be mentioned in the instruction. Okay. An arbitrary number of position in the same cycle itself. Okay. And that arbitrary number size is 8-bit. Okay. We can give the number of rotations and number of shifts from 00 to FF. Okay. So when we compare this component with classical shift register, actually in case of classical shift register involving flip-flop, so what happens is that the number of shifts require equivalent number of clock cycle before a shifting take place on the basis of clock. Okay. For each shift operation requires each clock cycle, that is single clock cycle. But in case of this ARM architecture, for n number of shift operations, it requires only one clock cycle. So it is a combinational circuit so that the shift take place on at one clock itself. Okay. And basically your ARM does not have actual shift instruction. Instead, it has parallel shifter which provides a mechanism to carry out shift as a part of other instruction. For example, here LSL R5, R3, R0. Similarly, logical shift left R4, R1, #6. So here the number of shift can be specified either by using register, either by using immediate operand. Okay. So these are the parallel shift operations. So parallel shifter can perform the logical shift left, shift right, rotate right, arithmetic shift right, rotate right extended. Okay. Once again. So logical shift left actually shift the register content towards left direction by specified amount. That is LSL hash 5 means it multiplies by power of 2. That is power of 5. That's 2 power 5. That is equal to 32. So it worked fine for both signed and unsigned number. LSL means multiply the register content by 2 power n. So this n specifies the number of shifts. Okay. So here the bits of the operand are shifted left by specifying number of bits towards left direction, which means zeros are inserted into the rightmost end of the word and last bit is removed from leftmost end and placed in carry. Okay. And next one is the logical shift right instruction. So this instruction is similar to unsigned divide by 2 power n. So example LSR hash 5 means 2 power 5. So divide the register content by 32. Okay. So this moves each bit of the register to the right by 2 power 5. Similar to the shift, that is 0 is inserted at the leftmost end and last bit is removed from the rightmost end and placed in carry flag. Okay. And next one is the rotate right instruction. So the objective of rotate instruction is to manipulate the bits in a register without destroying those bits. Okay. So rotate right ROR, it is used to rotate each bit of the register by specified amount ROR hash 5. Okay. So bit rotation does not discard any bits from register. Instead, the bit values are removed from one end. Okay, bits are removed from one end of the register, inserted into the other end, and D naught is placed in carry. Okay. And next, arithmetic shift right instruction. So this ASR similar to LSR, except that the high bits are filled with bit 31. That is bit 31 holds your signed magnitude. Okay. So the high bits are filled with bit 31 of RM register instead of 0. So this preserves the signed bit in 2's complement operations. Okay. So ASR hash 5 divide by 32 similar to LSR. It will preserve the 31st bit and propagate the signed bit to the next one. Okay. Next position, that is 30th bit, and 30th bit to 29th bit likewise. Okay. So 31st to 30, 30 to 29. Likewise, so on towards right direction. So last bit is copied into carry. And next one is the rotate right extended as the ROR operation with little difference. That is, it rotates the number to the right by one place only. We cannot specify the number of rotations in the instruction. So the original bit 31 is filled by the value of carry. Okay. And original bit 0 was moved into the carry flag. So this allows 32-bit complete rotation by using register and carry flag. So it is encoded as ROR hash 0. That's all. It will perform only single rotation. Okay. Is that clear? Pradeepa?
Yes, ma'am, I'll continue.
Okay, Pradeepa. Thank you.
Okay.
LSR hash 2 means logical shift right hash 2. That is, divide the register content by 2 power 2. LSL perform multiplication operation. LSR perform division operation based on the number of shifts specified in the instruction. So Pradeepa madam will demonstrate the shift operation codes. Pradeepa shift மட்டும் காமி rotate next class பார்த்துக்கலாம்.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, is the screen visible, ma'am?
Ma'am, இன்னும் வரலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Screen visible, ma'am?
Screen, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So as ma'am told you, you have logical left shift, logical shift right, rotate right, arithmetic shift right, rotate right extended. We will see with an example how the shifting operation is taking place, and then we will show the demo. So for example, I will just consider a 32-bit number. Okay. For example, we will take hexadecimal 1, which means all the bits are filled with 0. And only your LSB bit alone is filled with 1. So when I am doing this logical left shift, what happens? The LSB bit is filled with 0 and the bit operands are shifted. Okay. So if you look into this, when I am doing one shift operation left side, what happens? This 1 will be moved into the first position. So all the other bits will be moved 1 bit to the left side. So what happens here? The LSB bit is now loaded with 0. So I'm just showing with 1 bit. So you can have it with any number of bits. Okay. So if you write the bit position values, for example, I'll show you. So it is equivalent to 8421, right? Goes on the place values. Okay. So what happens? The bit earlier it was 1. When it is shifted to left side by 1 bit, it is equivalent to what? It is equivalent to multiplying by 2 power 1. Okay. So again, if you are shifting this data, which is now here, it is hex value is 1. So the hex value of this number is what? What is the hex value? What we have got now is xt. Okay, so 1 time left shift is equivalent to multiplying by 2 power 1 times. So this value, if I am shifting again by 1, okay, so what will happen? This entire value is getting shifted to the left side 1 bit. So all the bits are shifted 1 bit to the left, and what happens? The LSB bit, this 0 will also be shifted now. Okay, so in the LSB position, what happens? Now 0 is inserted. Okay, so when the actual value is shifted 2 times, it is equivalent to multiplying by 2 to the power 2, which is 4. So when the bit is 1, when you shift 1 times, it turns to 2. When it shifts 2 times, it turns to 4. So n number of times if you are shifting, it is equivalent to multiplying by 2 power n. So that is what is your logical left shift.
Pratipha ma'am.
value.
Ma'am, Pratipha ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay ma'am.
ma'am, your camp Wi-Fi, I think it is disconnecting and connecting.
No problem ma'am. Only for few seconds you are not audible.
Okay, ma'am, okay. So now I will consider a value as this. What is the binary value of this, all of you? Please put it in the chat box. I've just considered the third bit alone as 1. So what will be the 32-bit binary, hexadecimal value of this binary number? All of you please put it in the chat box. Eight. Okay. So it is all hexadecimal 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right shift. So logical right shift. We will do a logical right shift is equivalent to what? Shifting every bit to the right by 1 time. Okay. So the number of times you can give by yourself. Okay. So now I'm just taking an example and I'm just shifting this bit right by 1 time. So what will happen? So this bit, all the bits are getting shifted to the right side by 1. So in the MSB position, what we will do? We will insert a 0. So that is the difference between your logical right shift and logical left shift. So this logical left shift is equivalent to multiplying and logical right shift is equivalent to what? Earlier the equivalent value was 8. So now what is the equivalent value here? It is now changed as 4. So again, if you are shifting by 1 time, it will turn to 2. So logical right shift is equivalent to dividing by 2 power n. The n represents the number of shifts. Okay, based on the number of shifts, the division will be performed. So logical right shift can be used as a division, which is using lesser time, and your right shift left shift can be used as multiplication by 2 power n. Is this clear for all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Any binary number you can take. So for example, in your lab manual, I think we have given different values. For example, we have given the value as hexadecimal 8AEF5432. For example, if this is the number, then first you have to represent this number in binary form in 32 bits. Okay. Then that is to be shifted number of times. So the number of times you have to shift depends on your register number. So it is not common for all of you. You take your register number, take the average of it, round it. So if it is 3, then this binary number has to be left shifted by 3 times. So for all the other things also, you have to do it manually. So that will be your homework, the work for you for this experiment. So just I will show you the demo of your software simulation also. Okay. So maybe arithmetic right shift also I will show you. So what is your arithmetic right shift? What we are doing here? So we are doing the right shift operation and we are maintaining the sign bit in the MSB position itself. Okay. So it is equivalent to what? I will take the same number. Just remove it. So let us take this as a 1 then. Okay. So arithmetic right shift. So what happens here is if this bit has to be shifted right by 1 time, what will happen? All the bits will be shifted to the right side by 1 time. And MSB position in logical right shift, what did we do? We filled it with 0. Here what we will be doing is we will be maintaining the MSB bit as it is. So if the MSB bit is 1, you will retain it as 1 only. So in the next case, what you will, next time if you are shifting, this entire bit will be only shifted. To be right by 1 time, and again you will be maintaining the MSB position as it. Suppose your MSB bit is 0, you will maintain the MSB bit as 0 only, and that will be considered for shifting. Is your arithmetic right shift clear now? You're able to differentiate between your logical right shift, left shift, and your arithmetic right shift? Is it clear? Okay, we will see the simulation. So now I have just copied a code. So I will save this as shift.s. So here we have taken different values. Maybe I think I will take with the logical left shift. I'll take this. Keep the breakpoint. So first, I should add this to the project. Otherwise, this translate symbol will not be enabled. So add the existing file. So here it is shift. So this is added. Sorry. So add it and close it. So this is enabled. So you can compile it. So you can insert the breakpoint. Okay, we will put it in the debug mode. So please write the binary value of your 6 in R0 first. I will just take this. So let us make this as 0. Okay, so binary first value is what? R0 is loaded with 6 and R1 is loaded with 200 and R2 is loaded with hex 9B1 and R3 is loaded with minus hex 281, which means you have to take the 2's complement of this number. So 281 you have to write in binary first and take the 1's complement and add 1 with that. So you will get the 2's complement of minus 281. Okay, this is in hexadecimal. So you have to represent 281 in binary and take the 2's complement. I think I have given this in your manual. Okay, so here if you see, so negative number, so take the 2's complement of 281 and then get this R3 register value. Okay. So what is the first thing we are doing? LSL is the logical shift left. By how many times we are doing? So R1 register data you are taking and you are shifting how many times? 6 times. All of you please perform and give me the result and then we will run and check the result. Perform R1. First load R1 with the hex value hex 200, which means what? Hex 200 means 0, 0, 2, which means this. So the first 4 bits is 0, LSB bit, next 4 bits is 0. What is next? Next is here 2. So what we are representing here is, this is your binary number hex 200. So this bit you have to take and shift left side by 6 times. What you will get? So this data I am taking and shifting left side, so by 1 time. So this data I am taking, shifting left side by 1. So 2 times I have shifted. Third time I have shifted. Fourth time I have shifted. Fifth time I have shifted. So after shifting by 6th time, this will be my result. And here all will be filled with what? These empty boxes will be filled with zeros. Because it is a logical left shift. And 0 if you shift, it is again going to be maintained as 0 only. So what will be the exact hexadecimal value result you will be getting? So it is hex 0, 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, 0, 0. So shall we check that? So you will be getting it as hex 0, 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, 0, 0. So this is how this logical left shift has taken place. So we are getting it immediately. So all those steps what we did is done at the back end. Only the final result we will be getting. Okay. So next instruction is LSL R5, R3, R0, which means what? R3 register you are taking and you are shifting the R0, the content of R0 you take and shift that n times. So R3 is loaded with what? Minus 281. So that equivalent hexadecimal value we have computed by 2's complement. That data you will take, and R0 contains 6. That means you have to shift this R3 value by 6 times. So if you do that, what you will get is, you will be getting this value. Okay. So we have taken this as 281. So your R3 value will be this. This you have to shift it 6 times and you have to get the result. Okay. So if you do that, what happens is that your R5 is now loaded with FFFF 5FC0. Please try this by writing bits and try to shift 1 time, 2 times. So try to shift it 6 times and understand the concept. And if you have the instruction LSR, you will do the right shifting operation. So what is the R2 value here? It is 9B1D is the hexadecimal value. So this value you will take and you will shift it right side by 5 times. So how will you write 9B1? So you can take this, and first step is you have to write the binary value of 9B1. Okay. So first do that. So let me take everything as 0. So 9B1. So am I right? Is it 9B1D? Okay. So first you have to write the D value. So D is 1, 1. What is the binary value for D? So this is D. Next is 1. So 1D is written. Next is B. So next 4-bit I will leave off. B is 1011. So it will be 1011. So B is okay. Next 9 we have to write. So it will be 1001. So remember the 8421 combination and try to write. So this is your 9B 1D. So you have to right shift this 6 times. So when you right shift this, so what happens? So every bits will be shifted right side by 1. Okay. So you have to shift it 6 times. So this is how you have to perform the right shift operation. Your LSB bit will be going out, and finally your result will be what? So you will be having this result. This color will not be there because we are filling on the right side. So what will be the binary, hexadecimal value here? It is C in the LSB position, 6, 2. So 2, 6D, I think. Let us check it. Sorry, 4. 4D8. So what we are doing here is R2 we have taken and we have sorry, it is 5 times shifted. Okay, I have done it for 6 times. So what you have to do is you have to convert this value. So it will be 8D4. So it is right. 4D8. Okay, so 5 times if you shift, it will be 4D8. So that is how the logical right shift is happening. And arithmetic right shift, your sign bit will be maintained. So if you look into here, your R3 register, which is minus 281's binary value you are taking, and you are shifting 5 times. So your MSB bit was 1. So that will be maintained. And when you do this with the status register updation, you can see that the status flags are also updated by representing the carry flag. Okay, so when your ARS is given, your flags are also getting updated. Earlier the flags were all 0, so because of this, yes, this is also getting updated. Okay, you can perform all these instructions and execute and see, and you can complete your output for the shift operations in the output format given to you. It is uploaded in the Google Classroom as well as in the WhatsApp group. So you can perform this manually and you can do it. You can include it at the bottom, or as a one page, you can include it as inserting a table and understand how this is happening. Okay. Any doubts you have? Have any doubts, you can please ask. Ma'am, attendance, ma'am.
Ma'am, Dhanakshmi ma'am.
I'm Eduthuram.
Ma'am, Dhanakshmi ma'am, 1 second. See, only some 30 have submitted experiment number 1. The remaining half of the class have not submitted experiment number 1. The thing is, you have to submit it before the next lab class. Like experiment 1 and experiment 2 everyone would have submitted it. But only half of the class have submitted. So take some 1 day time and submit it as soon as possible. Okay. And we can take that.
Okay. Roll number 16.
Present, ma'am.
36. Rajasaravan.
Ma'am, present, ma'am.
64.
Present, ma'am.
64 present, ma'am.
65.
65 present, ma'am.
66.
Present, ma'am.
67. 67. Okay. 68.
Present, ma'am.
69. Okay. 70.
Present, ma'am.
71.
71 present, ma'am.
Okay. 72.
72 present, ma'am.
73.
Present, ma'am.
74.
74 present, ma'am.
75,
75%, ma'am.
76, 76, okay, not there. 77,
77 present, ma'am.
78, 78, not there. 79, okay. 80,
80 present, ma'am.
81,
81 present, ma'am.
82,
Present, ma'am.
83,
Present, ma'am.
84,
See, those who have given attendance can leave now.
85,